Hello and welcome to this video on how to develop a good project. My name is Lien and I'm a project officer for the 2Cs program. And today I will try to explain you a bit more about how to build a good work plan. This video will consist of three main parts. First of all, we will have to come back to the intervention logic before we can actually start constructing a very good work plan. The second part are the main components of a work plan. And then thirdly, we will look into the types of work packages that you can create for your project. First of all, as I said already, it is very important to come back to the intervention logic. This is a video that I recommend you to watch before watching this video because it is a very essential part to construct a very good quality intervention logic that is solid before you even try to develop a work package and work plan for your project. So coming back to the intervention logic, this means the what. What does your project aim to change? In this presentation, so in this video, we will go a step further and look into the work plan, and this means how will the project reach the planned result. So the main components of a work plan are work packages, activities, deliverables, and outputs. As every 2Cs project is result-oriented, it is very important that we start with the project-specific results before we start the actual framework of how we can deliver our outputs and our deliverables. So firstly, coming back to the intervention logic, you will see that every project will have to propose a project main result. This project main result is then linked to a program result indicator as explained in the video on the intervention logic by my colleague. When we're going to split down the project main results, we will come up with specific and multiple project-specific results, as you can see on this scheme. Every project-specific result, in order to obtain a specific result, so a change, you will have to deliver a product as there is an output. So for every specific result, there will be at least one project output. The project outputs are then the starting point to start constructing your work packages. So when we go back to the main components of a work plan, you will see that for every output, for every main product, you might have to deliver sub-products. These sub-products are called deliverables. You can have between one and several deliverables that altogether will make up for a project output. If we take an example, for example, a policy document, a policy paper can be an output of your project. You might need to deliver specific seminars, specific studies, an evaluation report in order to come up with a good quality output as there is your policy document. These different steps are then called the different deliverables. Altogether, they will make up for an activity, and a work package can then consist of one or multiple activities. In every work package that you will be delivering, there will be three additional aspects that you will have to develop. First of all, there is the time frame, so the when. When do you plan to realize these different outputs and deliverables? Secondly, the who, the role of each of the different partners in your partnership will have to be very detailed. We will also have to be able to see how partners will be working together. And then thirdly, how much? What is the cost? What are the funds that you need in order to deliver the outputs and the deliverables? So first of all, when we have a closer look to the time frame, you will see that it's very good to visualize when certain deliverables and outputs will need to be delivered. This is important to be able to propose something that is very realistic and also that makes sense when you look at the whole implementation of your project. There are a couple of things that we advise you to take into account. First of all, starting up a project will take some time, so we advise not to put too many deliverables and outputs at the complete beginning of your project. For another reason, but also as a risk on the timing of your delivery, is that we advise you not to put too many outputs at the complete end of your project. Now, why is that? It is because the end date of your project will also be the end date of the eligibility of your expenditure. meaning that you will have to incorporate a bit of time in order to close all of your activities. And therefore, we advise you to advance some of the outputs and not to put them completely at the end, because we all know that some delays might incur, which might endanger you then to deliver the outputs before your project comes to an end. When we look at the partner involvement, it is very important that this exercise is well thought through with all of your partners. For different reasons. Mainly the first is one that we really want to see how partners will be working together. So your application form will need to demonstrate a through cross-border cooperation. In each of the different work packages, you will have different partners working together. We like to know who will be the responsible partners, which other partners will be involved in which deliverable, and a real clear link between the role of these partners and the budget that they will be asking for a certain work package. So a clear and transparent role that should be clear from the start and from the submission of your application form, and there should be a coherence between this involvement and then the budget as proposed by each of the partners at the end of your work package. When we look at the budget, so I already briefly touched upon the fact that all of the partners who are involved in a certain work package will need to foresee a budget. So this budget needs to be coherent, as I said, with the role of this partner. There needs to be a transparency of the cost. So for example, do you have any equipment that is linked to deliverables or outputs? Then we will need to see that type of cost also in the budget per partner. Please do also make use of the box where you can explain more about the types of costs that you are foreseeing, so that everything becomes coherent and very transparent. And then the last element is that the budget repartition should be coherent also with the proposed time frame. So if you plan to deliver certain deliverables and outputs at the beginning of the project, then we should see this reflected in a bigger amount of budget in the beginning of the project for that certain work package. Now we go to the types of work packages. We have 5 types of work packages in total. The first one is the preparation work package. Then we will have multiple generic work packages, potentially also investment work packages, and then to finish off there are 2 mandatory work packages, which is communication and management. The first work package is work package 0, called the preparation work package. This is a work package that will be very similar for all of our approved projects and will contain all of the actions that were undertaken as a preparation for the project, so until the submission of your application form. To finance for all of these costs that the partners incurred during the preparation, every project has the right to ask for a lump sum payment of €30,000 ERDF. With the intervention rate of 60% ERDF for all of our projects, you will have to ask for 50,000 total budget in order to get the 30,000 ERDF. So please do not forget to put in 50,000 instead of the 30,000 that you will get in ERDF. It is up to the partners to decide how you will distribute these €30,000 ERDF. For example, if a lead partner did the majority of the work, then the partnership can decide that the lead partner will get also the majority of the lump sum. If all of the partners contributed equally, then the budget can also be distributed equally. Then we go to the generic work packages. When we look at generic work packages, every project can have in between 1 and 5 generic work packages. For most projects, generic work packages will be linked to the realization of one of their project-specific objectives. So again, I refer to the video about the intervention logic to make the clear link between a work package and a project-specific objective. Every generic work package should lead to at least one output and will have several deliverables and activities. In case a project needs to open budget line 6, so infrastructure and construction works, they will have to create an investment work package. So this budget line 6 is linked to investment works, which means then that if you have a budget line 6, you will automatically have to put all of the costs linked to this investment and also the realization of the output that goes with the investment in an investment work package. A list of eligible costs linked to the implementation of the construction works can be found in fact sheet 8. So I do advise you to have a look to this list and to make sure to know when you will have to put the type of output and deliverables in an investment work package, or when it can be considered as a generic work package. You can have as a project from 1 to 3 work packages investment, and that is all to see to the nature of the output that the work package is related to. For example, you have a pilot that you want to realize in your project, and 3 of the partners will do an investment that is contributing to this pilot. If they all have a similar investment, then it would be in only 1 work package investment. If the pilots would be very different, complementary but different, then we would advise you to put them in a specific investment work package that would be separate from each other. In every investment work package, you can have investment fiches. So this is a fiche will have to be created per type of investment. So per investment, you will have to create a fiche that will detail the location of the investment, the type of the investment, and the output to which you will have to link this investment. There is also a dedicated risk management section, because for every investment we all know that there are specific links attached, risks attached to this investment, as there is procurement, there can be delays, some investments can have an impact from weather conditions, etc. So it's very important to take the exercise of a risk management approach very seriously when drafting your investment work package. Another element that you should detail is the ownership, because this will have an impact on the durability of the investment. So who is the owner of the investment, and how can they guarantee that the investment will have a durable impact, and that the output can still be visible, used, transferable after the project has ended. Then we go to the last 2 work packages, who are already, as I already said, mandatory. There is first of all, the communication work package, and then secondly, the management work package. So 2 mandatory work packages, and they tackle transversal topics. So these will be things that will come back into all of our projects. They do not contain any outputs. They will only contain deliverables and activities, mainly because the outputs are linked to the nature of the project, to the change that you want to realize. Communication and management are only contributing to the implementation and the impact. So first of all, the communication work package. In the communication work package, we have to make a clear distinction between external and internal communication. External communication will be dealt with directly in a communication work package, while internal communication we will have to detail in the management work package. You all know that you are dealing with public funding, so it is very important to keep in mind the EU requirements that you will have to respect, as there are the program, the project logo, and the publicity requirements. You will also have to pay extra attention to a budget planning. So as for all work packages, also in this work package, you will have to detail a budget per partner. We need to see value for money also for this work package. It is very important that a communication work package is targeted, is very specific on the outputs, on the target groups, on the transferability, on the specific nature of your project. So propose actions, deliverables that are very much linked to the people you need to reach, and adapt the budget accordingly. So to inform the public about the support, there are different means that a project can use to reach the general public or their specific stakeholders. First of all, there can be a website. It is not mandatory to have a project website. If the project decides that for some sort of reason this is not the appropriate communication tool to reach their target audience, partners can also choose to communicate through their organization websites. It is, however, mandatory to have a poster with the name of the project, the program, and the partner organizations that is visible in every partner organization's premises. You will also be asked to put the logos and the publicity requirements on all of the documents that you will produce for your project. And then, in case there is an investment for your project, there will also be mandatory items to respect, as there are temporary billboards and a permanent plaque. So I do refer again to the program manual, in this case to fact sheet 14, where you will find all of the necessary information about these publicity requirements. When we go to the last work package, the management work package, as I said, we are dealing with internal communication here. So how will the partners be communicating? How do they need to be in constant contact in order to ensure a very smooth implementation of the project? So there will be steering committees, there will be partner meetings. It is up to the partnership to define the frequency of these meetings. There will be the partners' involvement that will be detailed, so who will be responsible at each partner organization for claims, for communication. It is very important to clearly map out the different people that will be working and will be contributing to the project. And then there are obviously the administrative procedures that every project has to respect and that will also need to be integrated in this management work package. To start with, there is the initiation stage in which you will have to deliver several documents and contracts and also make the main agreements between the partners to ensure a very smooth startup for the project. And then throughout implementation, there will be claims, financial claims, and there will also be annual progress reports that you will have to integrate in your management work package. And then to finish off, there are very important things to keep in mind. First of all, your application form, please keep in mind that this is a roadmap for project implementation. It is not only a document that will allow the evaluation and the approval of your project. It will be the document that will guide you throughout your project implementation, and that will be defining the budget, that will be defining the time frame, the partners' involvement, the outputs. So it is very important that you spend a lot of time in developing a good application form. And it is also a contractual document, so if there is any changes that need to be made to this document, this will mean that we will have to start up a modification, which can be a simple modification or can go to a technical or a major modification. But in any case, it has a risk to delay your project. So if there is anything that you can clarify from the start, then please take the time to do so before the submission of your application form. So to finish off, I include for you our contact details. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send us an email or contact us via the social media or via the program website. Thank you very much for watching and good luck with the development of your work plan.